Thanks for listening to Being Bubbly, the podcast where good vibes, real talk, and a little sparkle come together. I'm your host, Taylor, and around here, we believe life is better when you show up as your most authentic and bubbly self. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's pop into today's conversation. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Being Bubbly. I am so excited for today's episode. I feel like it's been a while since we have done a solo episode. We're kind of back to basics today. As you can tell, I did not dress up for the occasion. I had all the plans in the world to curl my hair, put on a Lily Pulitzer, like really bring it back to where Being Bubbly first started. And that just didn't happen. I'll be real honest with you all. I am tired. Uh, we are 5 days post sister's wedding. We are up in Vermont this weekend for my sister Sam's wedding. It was unbelievable. But yeah, here we are 5 days later. I look like a zombie. I feel like a zombie. And I just can't get my shit together. I don't really know why. It's like I'm 33 and I can't handle staying up till 2 a.m., which I actually did. I couldn't tell you the last time I stayed up till 2 a.m., to be honest with you. But yeah, we will do a full wedding weekend episode recap. We will hear from the bride herself. She is currently on her, I don't know if it's their honeymoon, their mini moon. I don't really know. I've heard them call it both. But she is down in Florida. So once she gets back and settled and figures her life out, I'd love to have her come on and share everything about the glorious weekend. But other than that, I'm going to be really honest with you for a second. I have done 5 different takes of this intro today. Like, I'm telling you, I am on the struggle bus. Not enough coffee in the world. I've got one crying baby in her crib, or bassinet. I have another toddler who's like this close to the iPad for screen time in her crib. And I'm just like, you know what? It's one of those days and we're just going to keep trucking on through. So, yeah, why not just add filming a podcast in the middle of the chaos? Because what else is new? But in terms of today's episode, I'm really excited because I feel like have a lot of new listeners, and I definitely have a lot more new followers on social media. So hello and welcome. But I figured I would just kind of do a solo podcast, just filling you guys in on what's going on, what's new with Being Bubbly, kind of what are the goals for the next couple of months, yada, yada. And then I wanted to do a little Q&A. I got some great questions from Instagram that I am excited to kind of dig into for all of you bubbly babes out there. So without further, oh my God, I'm literally sounding like the toast. Without further ado, let's jump into it. So I also have my notes. Can I just say, being a maid of honor might be more stressful than being the actual bride. I was very stressed out this weekend. Honestly, the biggest stressor was just making sure my sister was having a good time, but also the kid aspect of it and having the girls in the wedding, which literally they were the cutest, most precious little flower girls in the entire world. We will get into all of that in the episode with Samantha. We had, I would like to say, minimal meltdowns. It was not minimal, but that's okay. That just comes with the territory. But yeah, logistics on a wedding weekend, a destination wedding weekend, are a lot. logistics with your children at a destination wedding weekend is a lot. So the whole thing was just a lot. Um, but again, like I feel like I peaked this weekend. It was so fun. All right. So, guys, this is not going to be my best, most polished episode. Oh, you're probably wondering that that's like literally, I have ADD right now. Um, those of you, again, my 3 YouTube watchers that are watching can tell I have a new one of those little mini mic. It's so cute. Um, Honestly, I'm just trying some new equipment to kind of see what works as I'm building out the Being Bubbly studio. Stay tuned on my social media because I'm going to be posting some questions and I would love to get some feedback on what I should do with the studio. But yeah, just kind of testing out some new equipment. I feel like Kevin is not happy with me because there's a new Amazon package coming every single day with new podcast equipment. And he's like, I'm really excited that you're doing this and like you're really leaning all in, but you're not making any money and you're spending a lot of money. So we're going to fix that. But I did tell him, I was like, honey, in order to make money, you got to spend money. That's kind of my motto in life. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, these little mics are kind of a vibe. I have 2. So when I have guests come on and we can do a little in-person episode, that would be really exciting. So we're going to try it out. I don't really know. I tried to clip it on and it just felt really weird. So I'm going to hold it. In terms of what's new for Being Bubbly, I've really been trying to step up my social media game. I've said it here before. You'll hear me say it in probably every episode. I have a love-hate relationship with social media. I love it because it consumes me. And I hate it because it consumes me and I'm not good at it. And so I've really been trying to lean into some of the trends that are out there, trying to just post more frequently. I feel like I was underposting. Now I feel like I'm overposting. So I got to kind of find that sweet spot. If you know, you know. But yeah, trying to beef up my social media, beef up my following, and grow this Being Bubbly community, which has been really, really fun. I will say, since moving into Hingham and really like pushing myself and putting myself out there, meeting people, I have been meeting some amazing women in the community, entrepreneurs. By the way, I can never say that word, entrepreneur. Like I just I can't. But you know what I'm talking about. Um, so that's been really fun. And again, if you're following along on Instagram at Being Bubbly Pod or TikTok Being Bubbly Pod, please do. And you'll see some really fabulous people that I have been meeting along the way, which is really exciting. We've also been having a lot more guests come on to Being Bubbly, hence why it's been a while since we've done a solo episode. And I absolutely love it. One, I'm just like not talking to myself, but 2, I get to chat with people around me. And it's really pushing myself to be more creative and to be really thoughtful in the episodes that I'm putting out. And honestly, it's just been really fun. I've been learning a lot throughout the way. It's been really exciting. I've had people reaching out to see if they can come on the podcast, which is really cool because before it was always me asking like friends and family or people that I know to come on the podcast. So for people to actually like go out of their way and send me an email or a DM about like, hey, would love to come on and talk about this, fan of your show, would love to be a part of it, whatever it might be. That's been really exciting to hear that it's being well received and people want to be a part of the fun. So that's been awesome. What else is going on in Being Bubbly land? Oh, I started a Substack. Still figuring out like what Substack is, but it's kind of cool. I guess it's like a cross between like a Twitter and a Pinterest and a blog and a forum. I don't really know. So it's a work in progress, but um that's been really cool. And I've been like leaning into that a lot. Like I said, just trying to find my groove in it all and see, what's working, kind of a trial and, oh my God, can I even talk? Tr- what's the saying? Trial and error? Whatever it is, I'm trying to figure it out. Something fun that I have been working on and doing this summer was I joined this cohort of ladies. I think there's about 50, give or take, a little more, a little less, of us, where we joined this camp influence who was put on by Kylie Swanson. If you don't follow her, give her a follow. She is an amazing human. But she does these camps. She's done a couple like Camp Newports, where she brings women in from all over the country. I think a couple from Canada as well, and is all about just like girl power, building communities and networks. And it's honestly, it's been so fun. So we've been doing that. We have like, I call it class, but we have sessions every Tuesday learning about how to kind of, simplify and build your brand and everything that kind of goes into whether it's starting a business, starting social media to be an influencer. For me, it's like, how do I remain consistent with my podcast and build a following? So it's been really, really fun. And I'm hoping to have either Kylie, or it's also been run by Claudia Harrington and Tara Teal. Both are amazing. Give them a follow if you don't, or if you are not already following them. But would love to kind of hear their thoughts on how they think it has been going and, kind of their reasoning for it. I've learned so much, which is why you've seen like a huge spike in my presence in social media, but also just like trying to find and really solidify and make a strong brand out of Being Bubbly, because that was something like, obviously I had this idea of what I wanted Being Bubbly to be, and that's always kind of been the like north star of it. But along the way I feel like we've pivoted or I've been inconsistent. So again, just really trying to build a recognizable brand and community with Being Bubbly. Obviously it's going to be, evolving as I evolve as a person and a mom and a human. Um, but like I said, it's been really fun. I'm learning a lot of tips and tricks. And I have been introduced and feel like I have this amazing online community of women that I can go to for advice. And there's people from all over the country, Canada. So it's been really fun and really hoping to get some of these girls on to kind of share their stories and, so you all can learn from them like I have. In terms of what is like coming up for Being Bubbly, obviously we have some really cool guests coming on. I am happy to say I am booked, aka that's literally one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite movies, The Grinch. Um, I'm booked. I can't cancel on me. Yeah, we are booking episodes out until October, which is really exciting, and kind of new. I need to really get on my organizational game and lean back into using my everyday planner because I've been trying to keep things up here. And it's simply not, I don't know if it's the mom brain. I don't know if it's just Taylor's brain or whatever it is, but I'm dropping the ball on things. So need to get organized. Shout out to my Lily Pulitzer planner. Again, if I was organized, I would have had it next to me so I could show you all. So we are booking out guests out until October. I have been going to a lot of in-person events, which has been so much fun, exhausting. Like I have an event tonight for the Girl Gang Association for the South Shore, a little like summer soiree. Tomorrow we have an event, a mom walk. Really excited, and then like a little picnic after, so I'll be able to do that with the girls tomorrow. I was supposed to go out for drinks with some girlfriends last night, and Kevin and I, shocking, did not communicate our plans very well. So I had to push that. But I'm meeting so many new people, putting myself out there, getting Being Bubbly out there, which is really fun. But like, honestly, like, who am I? Thrive on being in bed. I'm not even kidding. Like 7:38, playing with Madeline in bed, giving her her bottle, putting her down, and then watching my shows. Like if I am not in bed, baby fed in my PJs, watching, currently I'm on like an office kick, I am stressed to the max because I am someone who honestly, I need like 10 hours of sleep. 8 just doesn't cut it for me. So that's been fun trying to like balance the being social, also prioritizing my sleep, prioritizing the kids, obviously. But other than that, oh, I know I mentioned the new mic. I also am going to be on the market for a new computer because I'm currently using my sister Samantha's computer. But she's going to need that for work because she goes back to work in like 2 weeks. So I need a computer. But like I'm not trying to spend like $1,500 on a computer that I'm just going to be using for being bubbly purposes because I have like my work computer that I'll use for work. So I need that. I also need a new phone. This phone is so janky. So just watch out because when I get a new phone and a new computer, my content is going to be crystal clear. I promise. I'm really going to step up my content game when I purchase these two things. Hence why I don't think Kevin is very happy with me at the moment. Because again, I'm spending money and I'm not making any money. But I just, like I said, be patient. Due time, my friend, it will happen. I'm going to be making the big bucks soon. I'm going to be global. Just kidding. Probably not. But I am hoping to like move into the sponsorships for the podcast because that would be really cool. And I'd love to share brands that I feel very deeply about and brands that will pay me, to be honest. So yeah, other than that, let's get into some Q&As. I was really excited. I posted a story this week of just like, what are some questions that you want answered on the podcast? So let's go ahead and answer some questions in no particular order. Someone asked, like, what's the most challenging part of podcasting? I've got a few of like, what do you love about podcasting? All of that. So let's talk a little bit about that. The easiest part and the part that I love about doing the podcast, starting my own podcast, is this. It's chatting. I love to talk, obviously. I love when I'm doing an episode and all of a sudden I look at the clock and an hour has already gone by and I'm like, that literally felt like 5 minutes. I don't know if you guys all love listening to hour-long episodes. I sure don't love editing hour-long episodes. Just the chatting portion of it and the talking and just like the art of podcasting, I love. And that's the easiest part. Like it just talking comes naturally to me. What can I say? In terms of the hardest part or the most challenging part of podcasting, and I would even like say the brand Being Bubbly is the content, like the social media. I'm very bad. I need help, but for help, you need to spend money, which I am willing to do. I don't know if my husband's willing to do. But yeah, that's the hardest part is like thinking about what to post, executing on the post. So whether that's like filming myself or taking the pictures or anything like content related is the most challenging. In terms of the podcast, like the mini little teaser clips, those are fun, but I think it's hard to kind of like find a clip that's going to be super buzzy. Obviously, in like the AI world, I use Riverside for the podcast. And so one of the things I love is it like gives you all of these like mini teasers and clips already generated by their AI, which is really cool. So those are fun to kind of make and post to get people excited for the episode. And then I would say like the consistency with the content and the brand. Again, queen inconsistent over here. I couldn't tell you the font that I use, the color that I use. I just kind of like go and use what I'm feeling in that moment. And I've done a lot of like research, and what I've learned from my camp influence class is like consistency is key. You want things to be fluid. You want someone to like scroll and see a video, whether it's me or whether it's content or whether it's like text on a screen. And you want them to know, oh, this is a Being Bubbly post. Um, and that's like how you know you have a good brand is when people can recognize the brand. I don't know if people could recognize my brand right now. There's a lot of shades of pink. There's a lot of different fonts. When I first started, it was like the bubbly font to play on Being Bubbly. Now it's like a little bit of a script situation, a little Times New Roman, honestly, but it's, true and true. It's classic. So, yeah, I would say consistency with branding is challenging, but I'm getting better. Slowly but surely, I'm learning. You learn something new every day. I truly stand by that sentiment. Another question I got about the podcast is, do you prefer solo episodes or guests coming on? Honestly, both. I think I like doing solo podcasts because, well, one, I can just talk and I just spew out words and it's like my stream of consciousness. And I don't think there's a lot of solo podcasts out there, or I don't consume a lot of solo podcasts. And I do think it's hard to put a solo podcast out there. So I think that does like speak to my craft and skill as a podcaster. Because not many people can just like talk to themselves and not care. I can, but I do love having other people on the podcast as well. It's been so fun. I've had my sisters, I've had some friends, I've had people that, I'm meeting for the first time on the podcast. I think people probably prefer to listen to guests come on because they're not only getting my point of view, but they're also getting someone else's point of view. And if I'm having like an expert on something come on and, having someone come on that can speak to something that we're talking about with their experience, I think is really exciting because I can only talk for my experiences that I'm living. And so to have other voices on here and other people's stories and experiences be told, it just, it helps us reach more people. It helps more people see, like, feel valued and seen and heard. And so, building that community is what it's all about. Honestly, I love both. I would like to kind of get into like a rhythm where I do like a couple of guests and then bring it back to solo. And it just has to do with also like booking and timing and all of that. Would love to hear kind of your thoughts on what do you prefer in terms of your podcasts, and also to like take that a step further. Like, what kind of people are you interested in having on Being Bubbly? What topics do you want covered? Obviously, a lot of the things we cover is motherhood because I am a mom, being in your 30s, and just the realities of life being crazy and like being your authentic self, all those things. being a girl, a sister, I don't know. Just tell me in the comments what you want to hear. Give me a topic and I'll talk about it. It's what's the game? Fishbowl or something where you pull something out and you get some sort of topic and you just kind of have to talk about it. I would love to do that. Maybe that could be like a little segment, like a bubbly babble or something where I just babble about certain topics. I don't know. TBD on that. Next question. Someone wanted to know how has been meeting new people, meeting new mom friends. I assume this person has been seeing, things pop up more on my social media. It's definitely something that I wish I had been doing sooner. It's so funny because when I meet someone, they're like, oh my gosh, like you just moved, thinking that I just moved to the South Shore. And I have to say, like, oh no, we were living in Norwell before. We've been here for 4 years. Um, but like Kevin and I just did our own thing and, have been doing what we've been doing since we moved to Southie from after college. And so it's been exciting to meet new people in the neighborhood, people that have kids. I'm excited, once the girls start school to kind of meet new friends through the school system and sports. And also, of course, like keeping in touch with, I don't want to say old friends, but all of our friends that we've known since we were younger and like through our 20s and 30s. We actually have two of Kevin's best friends are getting married in September, which is really, really exciting. So I am happy to welcome some new wives to the Hingham Boys Club because for a while, Kevin and I were the only ones that were married out of his Hingham guy friends and the only ones with kids. So, like, let's go. Let's, add more to the group. We were invited next door to a pool party, which was very fun. It's funny. I posted this TikTok about going to the pool party. And then I posted it onto like Instagram Reels. I think it has like 30,000 views and it has like 60 comments or whatever from like all people that like that don't follow me. But it has gotten a lot of attention. And I have to say, I've gotten a few negative and kind of nasty comments on the video, which I have found very funny. That like people can try and be really mean. I just laugh at all the comments, which is weird because I am a people pleaser. I am so incredibly sensitive. But like a stranger telling me their opinion and telling me to like grow up and go in the pool, cool. Like I think it's funny that you're commenting on some girl's Instagram that you don't even know about her growing up. So yeah, my little TikTok about that got a lot of heat. Long story short, I made a TikTok because we were invited to the pool party next door, an adult pool party. And I just, from watching all of my like Real Housewife seasons and eras and parties, like when you say pool party, it's more of like the aesthetic and the vibe of like, you're by a pool, but you're not necessarily going into the pool. So I had on a dress, I did my hair, makeup, ready to go. And then I'm looking out the window and like it's a full blown like the adults were playing like pong in the pool on one of those like blow up floats and like people were in the pool. And I was panicking because I was not planning on wearing a bathing suit. I was not planning on going in the pool. I was very wrong. I ended up wearing my bathing suit. I ended up going in the pool. It was lovely. It was so much fun. We had a great time. And honestly, going to a party next door and you can like walk home whenever you want and then go back is so ideal. I recommend that. Find yourself some neighbors who have a pool and like to throw parties because you can come and go as you please. I feel like it's been a very social summer, which is awesome. And it's going to be a very social fall, which is stressing me out a little bit, but we'll figure it out. Next question. Oh, I got a couple like house questions. What's going on with the house updates? Are you settled? Are you unpacked? All of that. Yes, unpacked. Like, yeah, settled. I don't know. Like, are you ever settled in a house? Like, I feel like anyone can look around their house and be like, oh, I want to do this, this, this. As I'm sitting here looking around my podcast studio, which is atrocious, by the way, there's definitely some rooms we got to like zhuzh up a little bit, but like overall, we have furniture, we have pictures hanging on the wall. We're settled on that front. I think our next project is like figuring out how to landscape. It's already landscaped. Figure out how to be good landscapers of our yard is going to be our next challenge. I'm actually very excited. My parents are coming up this weekend. So we're hoping that they can give Kevin and I some tricks, show Kevin how to use the hedge trimmers, all of that. That's going to be kind of our biggest, especially in the fall. But yeah, we are loving it. It feels like we've been here 10 years. We've been here 2 months. I'm telling you, do not sleep on one floor living. We love it, especially the age that the girls are at. Having everything be on the same floor is just so helpful. Millie can go play in her room while I'm in the kitchen. It's great. Like the playroom's right off the kitchen, the living room's right there. It's all open. We're loving it. So some people just wanted like updates on the girls. Oh, when you sit, ow, for those of you watching, apologies for like that was not very graceful. When you sit and like crisscross applesauce too long and then you move and it hurts? Yeah, that's me right now. I'm getting too old for that. The girls are doing fabulous. We actually had Madeline's 4-month appointment today. She is all of 14 pounds. She's doing great she was still considered a preemie, but she is gaining weight. We're so excited. She's eating well. She's sleeping well. Praise be. She's just a happy little girl. She's finding her voice in the form of shrieking and like ear piercing, but the little girl's got to find her voice. I'm a little sad. She had like the bluest eyes for so long, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a blue-eyed baby. This is so exciting. She's definitely trending more of like the Irish light skin, not red hair, but like light hair, light eyes. But they are starting to take a little bit of like a hazel turn. But definitely like still lighter. Millie's are like dark brown, like mine. Um, but Madeline's doing great. Millie is 2.5. If you know, you know. She is good. She is someone told me this weekend, the true definition of the Sour Patch Kid. First she's sour, then she's sweet. Then she's sour, then she's sweet. But she really is a love. She loves affection. She loves hugs and cuddles and kisses. She loves saying no. She loves screaming, all the things. But she's doing so incredibly well, especially, thinking about where we started with her, and kind of her journey through birth and NICU and then all of like the intervention that we went through. She is just doing tremendous and just excelling. And we're so proud of her. She's going to start preschool, like full on preschool in September. So she has been in daycare up until August. And then I took her out just because we had so much going on in August and we're traveling. So she's been home every day, which is exhausting. So I am very excited for her to go to preschool 5 days a week, may I add. In September, which will be great because I will be going back to work, which honestly, like I am excited about. Like I need a structure and a routine. So I'm excited to be going back in September. But yeah, the girls are doing really well. Oh, someone wanted to know the meaning between the meaning behind the girls' names. And did I mean to have both of the names be M's? Will our next child, if we have another child, um, will we continue with the M trend? I think we're going to continue with the M trend. I don't know. Maybe we're kind of running out of M names that Kevin and I both like. Choosing Madeline's name was really challenging because I loved Madeline. Kevin loved Madison, and we could not align or choose. Obviously, I ended up winning, which, like, yes, the mom should always win because I'm the one giving birth. Hello. But like Kevin's fear of people not knowing how to say her name, the amount of times we get Madeline instead of Madeline, like, I get it, but I just love the name Madeline. Like, it's just so classic and elegant, and I just love it. And obviously, Millie's name, we knew like right off the bat, we wanted Millie. I don't know if I've talked about it on here, but we were going to do Amelia and then call her Millie. And people knew when I was pregnant that the name that we were going to call her was Millie. And so people wanted to get like Millie monogrammed on things. And so we were like, if we already know her, we're going to call her Millie, why are we even going to go through the hassle of Amelia? Like, let's just simplify it. So we chose Millie. I personally am a fan of grandma names. So knowing that we were going to do Millie, like I wanted Millicent or even Mildred. Like I love old lady names. I think they're making a comeback. I don't see myself having a daughter named Dove or, Rain. I don't know. But some of these like new trendy names, it's just not for me. Like, let's bring back Nancy. Let's bring back, your grandma or like your great aunt's name because I just love an old person name. Boy names, if we ever have a boy, well, first of all, if we do ever have a boy, we're in a bit of a pickle because Kevin is a junior. So he wants to have Kevin Michael Morris the third and then call him whatever you call a third. I've heard Trey. I've heard Trip. I've heard it all. I'm not like a super fan of Kevin Michael Morris the third. I already have a father-in-law, Kevin. I have a husband, Kevin. Between my mother-in-law and me, I feel like we say the name Kevin 1,000 times. So I would prefer like George or Charles, Henry, Harry, Harold. I would love any of those names. Obviously, my husband would not. So TBD on that. I don't know if we're going to stick to the M's. Maybe, maybe not. But I can assure you, we have plenty of time. Actually, I was talking to my sister yesterday and I was just like, I'm so tired. This weekend wiped me out. And she's like, are you pregnant? I said, absolutely not. There's no way. I am not. Ask me again in 4 to 5 years. I'm just tired because I'm old and I can't hang like I used to. Someone asked a podcaster that I would want to like collab with, either have them on Being Bubbly or go on their podcast. Obviously, the Toast. I know they don't do interviews really, but when one of them goes on maternity leave, they have guests come in. That would be like the dream to get, a guest spot on the Toast simply because like that's where my whole podcasting life appreciation started, was listening to the Toast many, many years ago. Actually, it was the Morning Breath. So that would be very cool. That would be like a full circle moment. And I would love to just chat things all pop culture with the girly swirlies. Right now I've been loving consuming content from Cameron Oakes Rogers, Conversations with Cam. I've listened to her podcast. I've been a follower of hers for many years. My cousin introduced me to her content years ago. And I just feel like we are in very similar stages. She's having her third pregnancy, but right now she's been having a lot of specialists come on and talking about, postpartum, pregnancy, all of that. And so I think it would be really, I would love to go on her show and share kind of my experience and journey with being, a NICU mom, a mom to preemies. And I would love to have her on here to share her story and experience. Selfishly, I want to ask her a million questions on how she has grown her brand because what she's been doing, like she's interviewed Kylie Kelsey, she's had some Bravo stars on, like so incredibly impressive. So would love to chat with her. Honestly, I'll go on anyone's podcast. I love to chat. I love to talk. If you have something cool to talk about or you are a cool individual and we can just chat back and forth, you're welcome. Anytime. I've gotten like, what are your goals for being bubbly? I talked a lot about that before in terms of I would love to get some episodes sponsored. I'd love to get just being bubbly out there more in the community, build an even bigger brand. Something that's like really big on the South Shore is like in-person events, whether it's for mom, but also just for women. I would love to host some in-person events. Those are the things that like I've been going to and I've been meeting so many cool people. So that's definitely something I'd love to do. I'd love to do some Being Bubbly merch. I've been, sketching, so to speak, some ideas, but again, need to figure out like a true consistent theme, logo, brand, etc. But maybe for like the holiday season or something, we can do some Being Bubbly merch. That would be really fun. Other than that, I'm just going to continuing on, continue doing what I do best. And that's chatting to you all, living a chaotic life, laughing about just the reality that I live in because it's just chaos. I don't know any other word to describe it, but wouldn't change it for the world. I love it. And yeah, let's keep rolling with it. I got my iced coffee. Oh, by the way, again, many of you cannot see this because you're all listening. Where's the camera? Oh, there it is. I, for the wedding, did a little French manicure. And might I say, it's a vibe. I am loving the French. I feel like I'm like living my best prom circa 2010 life again. Definitely, this is like a dainty, elegant French manicure. When, we did the prom French manicures, it was the very square, very thick white French manicure line. This is just very like elegant and whimsical. So I think I'm going to keep them. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep them. Okay, well, cheers to being bubbly. Bye. Thanks so much for spending time with me on Being Bubbly. If this episode made you smile, think, or feel a little bit more like yourself, I'd love for you to share it or leave a review. Until next time, keep showing up, keep shining, and keep being bubbly. Cheers.